Commissioners. Would all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you would remain standing for the invocation. Dear God, please bless our meeting today. May our discussions be fruitful, our decisions wise, our community strong. Amen. We have minutes from the regular meetings of December 14th, 21st, and 28th. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
The clerk would like to do roll call first. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Here.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Here.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Present. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Are we waiving the reading thereof, sir?
Yes. Would you motion to approve with the waiving of the reading thereof?
I'll make a motion to approve with the waiver of the reading thereof.
Thank you. Second. Unless, Jennifer, you want to read the whole thing, that's okay. Or we could call Kathy up. No?
Jen was hoping to read the minutes, but you disappointed her. So any discussion? Jen, would you like to object?
I would not like to object.
Hearing none.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes. Now it's time for our first public comment portion. Any member of the public who would like to speak, please advance to the podium, stating your name and address for the record. Mr. Massey.
Brian Massey, 8196 Rainbow Drive. Since we're on a short leash now, I'll try to be very quick. The first item was I received the detail on the senior service levy, and I noticed that we're giving $50,000 to Lake Tran. And I know that Lake Tran also receives money from the Job and Family Services. So with an entity like Lake Tran that has over $20 million, do we need to give senior service levy money to Lake Tran? The next item is item number 8 that's on the current schedule regarding the changing of the procedures for the public comments. I will say, Commissioner Plechnik, that I'm very disappointed. You to be thought to be a real strong conservative, that one of the first things that you do is curtail public speech. And I'll say to Commissioner Regovich, Lake County will be watching for your vote. Thank you.
My name is Elaine Cross. I'm actually from Kent, Ohio. My full address is 321 Suzanne Drive, Kent, Ohio. I am a candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives, so I came to introduce myself to you and to the county. But the reason I stand here is I had a lot of trouble figuring out where your meetings are actually at and finding other public meeting information on your website. I understand you're probably publishing it in a newspaper. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I had to literally walk around the whole building to find out where I was. I went into the auditor's office to find out the correct building to be in. So I would like to see, especially with the new president of the board here in a new year, that you could update your website a little bit. There's one department that has meeting minutes, and the last meeting minute is from 2022. So somebody needs to take a look at your website and kind of update some things, and I would appreciate that. And I'm sure any other visitor that has never been here before would probably appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion?
My name is Chris Weiss. I live at 6000 Trask Road in Leroy. Came up to speak because I heard that the public commentary portions were going to be either eliminated or severely restricted. And Mr. Pleshnik, I find that odd because just last week at Becky Lynch's fundraiser over at the Steel Mansion, you specifically told me in front of other people that you were not going to do that. My opinion on curtailing this is that, you know, when you host a public forum, it's right and proper to allow the citizens to express their views and concerns. It's cathartic. It allows people to vent, to get things off their chest, and when people can address the government, they tend to feel like their input has value as opposed to taking matters up in a less productive way. We've heard people that have come up and spoke on off-topic things that have really nothing to do with county business. I myself try not to do that. I'm willing to listen to those people speak, and I think you guys have the right to say, hey, wrap it up, or has nothing to do with the county. But Lois Osborne comes to mind on that matter. Also, in a previous board, I believe it was Ron Young was on the board at the time, but the board voted specifically to keep the public portion and not to have a time limit on that. So your board is going to reverse what a prior board has done and what's been a long-standing thing, to the extent that you've had the 2 comment portions for quite a long time. I find it ironic, Mr. Pleshnik, that your first act of power as the president of this board is going to be to limit freedom of speech and First Amendment rights in this county. Seems to go against Republican values. Mr. Regovich, I'm going to ask you to vote no on this. I'd like you to show me
Anyone else for public portion? Going once, going twice, then we will move into resolutions. Madam Clerk, would you read resolution number 1?
In the engineer's office, resolution awarding a bid contract to Specialized Construction Incorporated for the Lockwood Road reconstruction project as required by the Lake County engineer in the amount of $442,333.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bregovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck. Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
In the Utilities Department, resolution awarding a bid contract in the amount of $388,800 to Neroni and Sons Incorporated for Sunshine Acres Wastewater Treatment Plant Contract 1, Project 456S 2021.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bregovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck. Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
In Job and Family Services Department, resolution approving Lake County Department of Job and Family Services vouchers, date of warrant January 19, 2024, in the amount of $470,485.67.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bregovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck. Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
In the Commissioner's Office, resolution authorizing execution of a grant agreement between the Lake County Board of Commissioners and the State of Ohio Department of Development for the Lead Safe Ohio program.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bregovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck. Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the Board of Lake County Commissioners to issue a request for proposals, request for qualifications for program management services for the Lake County Lead Safe Ohio program.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bregovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution accepting an emergency management performance grant in the amount of $125,673 effective through December 31st, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bregovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the county administrator to renew a professional consultant contract with McDonald Hopkins for American Rescue Plan Act ARPA technical assistance for calendar year 2024 in accordance with the request for qualifications approved November 9th, 2021.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution amending the established rules for the orderly presentation of public comment during the Lake County Commissioners' meetings.
Move to approve.
Second. Any discussion?
Mr. President?
Mr. Hammercheck?
That's Commissioner, but thank you. Yes, we all know that public comment portions are not required for the Open Meetings Act. That being stated, it is a chance for the average citizen to state their concerns. And sometimes those concerns are directed at elected officials. We are elected to make tough decisions. In my mind's eye, this is not a tough decision. It's a rather easy way to avoid criticism. That being said, I would respectfully not be in favor of lessening the public comment portion in our meetings. Other than that, I have nothing further to say. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck,
No.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution expanding the Senior Citizen Advisory Panel for the support, operation, and maintenance of senior citizen services, facilities, and programs pursuant to sections 5705.19Y, 307.85, and 307.694 of the Ohio Revised Code from 5 members to 7 members.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing execution of an agreement with Matrix Point Software LLC for a new case management system for the prosecutor's office in the amount of $214,000.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution amending the Lake County Board of Commissioners regular meeting schedule beginning January 4th, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, at this point, I would like to take just a moment to remember the great loss that Lake County has suffered. Our mayor of East Lake, Dennis Morley, passed away unexpectedly after a very brief battle with cancer, and the reason we're adjusting our meeting schedule is so that the commissioners will be able to attend his services Thursday of next week. And so I would ask everyone for a moment of silence in memorial of Mayor Dennis Morley, our leader, our friend, president of mayor and managers. One moment. Thank you. And if anyone would like to say a few words, I understand this is difficult. Dennis was very close to everyone at this dais, and really most of the elected officials in Lake County, many of whom he was a mentor and friend, but I want to give the opportunity if anyone would like to speak about Mr. Morley.
Rich, you knew him best. Mr. President, if I may,
Commissioner?
I have to say over the last few years, Dennis and I did become quite good friends. He was, I can still hear his words about nonsense. And our little joke about when he'd give me something to make me snicker during a meeting. I think it's best to remember the good things. Dennis was somebody who could make tough decisions, and he would put together quality people to help frame those decisions. I think that's a lesson that elected officials throughout the county should look to for guidance. His leadership with mayors and managers was phenomenal, and I gotta tell you, his wingman was a gal, Judy Moran. I gotta tell you, during COVID and all the foolishness associated with that, my God, could she keep things together. And Dennis was at the helm. It was impressive. And when you see that kind of a team, words escape me. But I just feel strongly to say, Dennis will be missed, but we would do well to continue to abide by his teachings. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Hammercheck. He will be missed. Madam Clerk, I apologize, but I can't remember where we are.
I will take roll call. Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
In the Finance Department, resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $4,943,183.36.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $3,693,862.78.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations for various non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes. Now we move to departmental reports. Utilities.
No report today, Commissioner.
Job and Family Services.
No report today. Thank you.
Our County Administrator.
Thank you, Commissioner. I just want to echo the words of the commissioners in regards to Mayor Morley. He was a good one. He really was. Also, just a reminder that next Friday we will pass the permanent inside general fund budget. It will be presented to the board for consideration next Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd. Madam Clerk.
Yes, I wanted to mention that county offices are going to be closed on Monday, January 15th in observance of MLK Day. And also, as mentioned, next week's Thursday meeting is going to be canceled, and the next meeting will be on Friday, January 18th, same time wait a minute. The January 18th meeting is going to be rescheduled for the 19th, Friday at 10 a.m. And it'll be posted online.
Thank you. Legal.
No reports, Commissioner.
Thank you. That brings us to old business. Any old business before the board? Hearing none. Any new business? Any new business? Hearing none, that brings us to our second public comment portion. Any member of the public who'd like to speak to the commissioners, please advance and share your name and address. I think ladies first.
Gilda Spencer, 5580 Ford Road, Madison. Okay, good morning. I have questions because I don't, obviously I missed some of this. What are we changing for the public portions? Are we shortening it? We eliminating one, or how's that working?
Ms. Spencer, in general, public portion is not a Q&A, but because this is a change, I will explain briefly.
Okay.
This would allow for one public portion in the beginning with a general limit of 3 minutes that the chair has the discretion to extend if there's a point to be finished or something novel to be said. So a baseline of 3 minutes and one public portion at the beginning of the meeting.
Okay, thank you. I have one more. The county engineer is not here anymore during our meetings?
That is correct. We are having a renewed budgetary focus going into the new year. Our principal task is going to be the budget and paying for the new jail, and I felt it was important, and I think the commissioner's office generally agrees it's important to have that renewed focus. In the past, we always had the county administrator and budget director up front, so that's been the decision for the new year.
Okay, so who do I ask about my road? If-
I think that's a very good question, and I would still direct those questions to the engineer's office. Ultimately, this isn't an engineer's office meeting.
Right, I understand that.
It's a commissioner's meeting, but you would direct those questions to the county engineer.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then my next part is I just want to remind you gentlemen of the things that I don't have. Even though we've voted to move the money and get things going, I still don't have police service. I still don't have school buses. When I came in this morning, I have to go down Blair Hill, which, okay, except there was a boom truck sitting in the middle of the road 3/4 of the way up. So does that mean that there's an issue, a bigger issue with the road now? So those are things that concern me. I also, if you have to get to me, my home, and you're coming from Madison, you're going down 528 to River Road through Madison Township. Then as you follow River Road down, then you go into Perry Township. That gets you to Blair Hill, which is still Perry. You have to go down Blair Hill, come back up. You're now in Leroy. Then once you get up at the top of Blair Hill, you turn onto Ford Road. I am not even 700 feet from the hill. So you have to go all the way down Ford Road. So you're looking at 20 to 30 minutes to get to us. If you come from Thompson, it's the same way because they're all volunteer. If you come from Leroy, you have to go down Leroy Center to Vrooman to 84 to Adams Road to River Road to Blair. Blair comes up to Ford, and then you still have to get to my house. So my concern is that we don't have active police. If we call, they don't want to come because they have to come through all these districts. And if I call the sheriff's department, they don't come because I have Madison Township Police. So I feel like we are in peril, which puts you in peril, because if something happens out there, it's a guarantee somebody's going to sue you. So thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion? Bishop.
About the Mayor Dennis, I'd like to say, memento quid apulvis pulverem reverteris, meaning men come from the earth and go back to the earth. But a man like him don't go back to the earth, come back to all of us for what he done for this community. I'd like to say thank you for his memory. And I recall when I first met him with my French accent, but he listened to me very carefully. And a wonderful man. And a man like this is the kind of man that you meet once every 300 years. So I give God the praise. I'm standing here also, commissioners, to say thank you. We are now to 2024. I feel very good. I feel so good. As I said so many times, a person that was born on the side of the road. And I used to be looking at the Americans, to all of you, in the movies, in the television. But now I'm in your midst. This is what makes this United States of America such a great country. To see the individuals come and speak and listen, and the elected officials speak to them, that's wonderful. Something that I don't have where I came from in many times. I just want to say thank you to the three of you. And not only that, there is something about when I'm watching media, Commissioner John Plechnik, you everywhere, which is good. In other words, you and the energy that you have is very good, and I appreciate that. And I give God the praise for that. I thank God for what I saw. When I first came to this community, there were people in the bridges, under the bridges. If I'm not mistaken, 75, I recall at one time. They used to come to me all the time. And now, great change, great progress in our community. I give God the praise for that. To be brief, I'm sorry I didn't say Gerard Mabel, 1049 Brentwood Drive, Pennsville, Ohio. I did invite Commissioner Amechek to come for Thanksgiving, and he did, and he came. And the people asked for him again for emancipation, and he's willing to do the final prayer for us. I just want to say thank you to you, sir, for that. Also, I'd like to invite for emancipation, which will be January 21st. Emancipation is lifeblood of any nation. So this year, I would like to invite practically many of elected officials to come to 428 West Jackson Street at New Hope Baptist Church, where Reverend Travis McQueen will be the speaker. Wonderful man. Also, something about New Hope Baptist Church, they open that place. Whenever we have a homegoing service, they open the church for us to have, because they have a large place. So I'm very pleased for that. Also, we have January 15, Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King is so important, not only for the United States, for the entire world. I recall when I first met with Jesse Jackson in Cleveland, so tall and looking at me, and he said, they arrest me in your country. I said, well, they didn't know who you were, and I apologize for that. So Martin Luther King is very important, and I'm so blessed that I was able, 2020, to receive the Ohio Dr. Martin Luther King Governor Humanitarian Award, only in the United States. And there are times, there are places, there are countries that you live, they don't even know that you exist. But in the United States, people like yourself, you lift up people. You make people feel like there is somebody. And of course there's somebody. But this is the only place you can come, you can speak. This is the only place you can do things that's wonderful. And I give the Master the praise for that. And it's because of people like yourself. Great lawyer, wonderful person, teaching other people to make better. And that's what did push me to be brief. That's what did push me when I heard there were 30 Sudanese refugees. They could not come to the States. And believe it or not, Jane Campbell gave me 2 proclamations, and we were able to bring them to study and go back home and make their country better. What you guys are doing, you are making foreigners like myself better. I just want to say thank you to all of you, and thank you to our Lake County Sheriff Department. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion? Going once, going. It appears we have a judge.
Thank you, Commissioners. Mike DeLeon, 53 Erie Street from the Juvenile Court. I wanted to start off by saying that we're going to miss Mayor Morley. I mean, he's a great guy, great friend, and he jumped in to help out wherever and whenever he could. But I also wanted to thank you, this board. We have another new program, which we just sent out a press release yesterday, called Car Teens. We're partnering with 4-H and the Ohio State Highway Patrol. The juvenile traffic offenders will pay a fee of $50 to attend a 2 to 3 hour course. I will not be seeking any funds from the commissioners to fund this course, so it's cost neutral for the commissioners. It's proven throughout the rest of the state of Ohio. It's been around for years, and it has proven to reduce the chances of teen drivers coming back to have to see me in court by increasing their safety, and anything that can increase the safety of our teen drivers and our families and our Lake County residents, I'm 100% behind. And I worked with you folks, I worked with the Fair Board to get some space there, so thank you all for your help in getting our program there, because the statistics show that when you do a program like this for teen drivers, if you do it at a courthouse or if you do it in a police station, the effect of the program is lessened. That it's statistically shown to be better and more effective to do it on a neutral site like the Lake County Fairgrounds. So this was a pivotal part of this program. Also like to thank Lisa Manning from 4-H and Lieutenant Jones from the Ohio State Highway Patrol as we went through this curriculum. They put this together with the state of Ohio, It's the same curriculum that is taught throughout the state with the proven success rate. So I just wanted to say thank you to this board for your help in getting this new program off and running. The first one will be the fourth Monday of January at the fairgrounds. So thank you, folks.
Thank you, Judge DeLeon. Anyone else for public portion? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn into executive session for personnel and collective bargaining.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the executive session.
Do we have a second?
Just to be clear, there'll be no business to be conducted afterwards.
I was about to mention that, but is there a second?
I think we have to incorporate that into our motions, sir. As we do that, I'm looking at legal, sir. We've always made sure that we made it abundantly clear as part of our...
If you clear it up, I don't have a problem with that.
To be clear, there will be no business conducted after.
Thank you, sir. I assume that Commissioner Regovich is okay with that?
Yes.
Thank you. You have your second, sir.
Thank you. There is no discussion on a motion to adjourn, so Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes. We are adjourned.